this is having church, isn't it? This is fun. Pastor Brad mentioned that the Tanzania team is home safe and sound, and so far they look awake. Give us time. Jeff says, give us time. They'll be reporting. I'll be talking with them. We'll pick a Sunday. Maybe it's next week or wherever it works out. But we'll give them an opportunity on a Sunday morning to give testimony and witness to what God's been doing in and through them on the field. This morning, though, I did ask those folks who went to West Virginia yesterday on a short-term, one-day missions team to come up. Karen, where are you? Why don't you come on up and lead the way, and all the other members who are here this morning, come on up. Come on, all of you. Ma'am? All right. Okay. We won't ask any questions about that. I'll let Karen lead off, and I know they got some pictures they want to show as well, so.
Good morning. We really had a fabulous day yesterday. Things just really came together. We went from planning on Monday night. We had to plan a menu. We had to get supplies all week. And the whole week was just blessed. Different ladies from the church and their families gave us, we did hot dogs, we had fruit, we had chips, we had potato salad, macaroni salad. We ate really well. We had little Debbie cakes. I mean, we were just blessed with food. But the biggest blessing came from the supplies that we got. Most of the stuff was donated. There was a few things that we bought. Smiley Tile gave us carpet. Willie Davis got someone to donate all of the heaters that they needed. There was just a big supply. There was there was crown molding, casing, baseboard, insulation. I mean, there was just a whole bunch of stuff that we needed, and when we rolled in there yesterday, we had everything that we needed. So it was a true blessing. For me, it was my first time ever doing an outreach like that, so my heart just come back full because I didn't do a whole lot of work. But I was there, and I did a lot of the pictures, and I just got to spend the day loving on different people and just meeting different people, and it was just a day that really came together, and it was all through the glory of God. So everybody probably has a little something to tell you about what we did.
All right. Do you want me to? Okay, I'm Justice. We went there, and to me, it was really surprising to see that some of the houses got hit really hard in West Virginia, and some of the houses didn't. We were in the same neighborhood, and like their neighbor didn't get hit at all, but the man we were at, his house had 24 inches of water in the house and 44 inches in the garage. And so it was crazy just to see how much the devastation was and how it spread out through everything. And I painted the trim all day, a lot of trim. And yes, yes. And I got a lot of it on me. Oh, yes. And it was great just to be able to help out and just be able there to, do whatever he needed. So, yeah.
Thank you. There's many things I could say about yesterday, but I think I could summing up by saying it was a beautiful day, it was a loving day, and it was a blessed day. And as Justice mentioned, it just was unbelievable to be working in a home that had all that water in it just a few weeks ago. And we sat out in a garage that had measured 44 inches of water, and the devastation that those people went through, but the smiles they still had on their faces and how they accepted us. Definitely the church was in Ruford, West Virginia yesterday, and God is on the move.
Hi, I'm Chris. These are my friends, but this was my friend yesterday. Every bottle of water that we consumed was a blessing.
Good job.
get the mic. Look at that face. That's a private joke. Yeah. What I wanted to say about it wasn't the work because I didn't do much of it. There was a lot of people that did so unbelievable amount of work. But what really thing told us was, as we left here, we sat in a circle and prayed, stood outside and prayed together. And they said, please let's not push Jesus on anybody out there. Let's just go out and do our work and let him see what we're doing, and he'll gain. Well, I said, wow, that's going to be tough. Got out there, and sure enough, he gave us different things we had to do when we were working, and he came working with us, and he was very quiet. He didn't say much. He wasn't a guy to talk much. But by the end of the day, he was talking with everybody. He got the message of Jesus out of anybody saying one thing. But we did prayer, and we talked about different things, and he saw what we did there for him. And I just couldn't believe how you could change one person in one day. I thank you, Jesus.
I think that the thing that I noticed the most is when me and Justice and Karen went to Ace Hardware. I've never been in an Ace Hardware that was completely empty. And they had 7 foot of water in that store. And when we went to get our lumber, I got out of the truck, and the guy looked at me, and he kind of chuckled, and he goes, "Where are y'all from?" And I simply said, "Well, we're from Virginia." And he goes, "And why are you here?" And it was funny just to see his demeanor of why, as far as he knew, there was only 3 women. Okay, but just to see his face as to wonder why the heck we would want to come from Virginia over there. And I just simply told him, we're just here for a day. We're helping somebody clean up their house. And he got real quiet, but you could see his wheels turning, and he wanted to talk some more. But another thing was seeing the markings on the houses. Karen had forewarned me about this, and I thought that, it's just a mark. But when you start reading the markings on the house, you realize that a lot more was lost just in that one house, and there were multiple houses that had markings on them, and that was pretty hard to see. But the guy that we worked with is really quiet. He didn't say anything, but you could see as the day went on, he would answer you more than just yeah or no or yeah, I guess. He would actually try to walk with you and show you things. So it was really nice to see him, and his girlfriend was really open to talking a lot more by the end of the day, hanging out with us, kind of joking around in the dining room a little bit. But I noticed that when we went to the family after we left Bob's house, you don't realize how spoiled you are and how ungrateful you really are for what you have. This woman has nothing, and is dealing with so much heartache in her life, and raising 2 disabled children by her own. She's legally blind. Getting ready to move into a FEMA trailer that absolutely has nothing but a 2x4 walls. So I think it was good for me personally just to see you can have nothing and still be the happiest person on the whole earth and still be really grateful for what you have.
I feel that I was probably blessed more than they were. It was great. We had a good time. We had a lot of laughs. And it was good, too, because the crew got along so good. And, you see them in the church and you say hi, but now we know them. And they're our friends. But we had a wonderful day, and I think we really blessed them, too.
For me, what gets me through is the Lord Jesus Christ. And when I got there yesterday and we pulled up, I thought, wow, what are the other neighbors thinking that, we're pulling up with all this, supplies, and we're ready to work, and we're unloading, and we're organizing, and then we get to work. And then I just had to stop and realize, to myself, hey, we can only help one person at a time. and we worked hard. We laughed. We did have a good time. um, and as the day went on, Bob's girlfriend, kind of opened up more to us and laughed and everything, and she was just sharing about the flood, and I thought, wow, these people, they were scared. They had no hope. They didn't know what to, expect and what was coming up next, and she said that as the day went on, they got more scared and they just had to leave, and I kept thinking throughout the day, we're doing just a little bit, but there's so much more to do in this one home. And I just pray God just meet all of their needs in this home. I thought the day was done. We packed up and we, thought we were leaving to go home. And Karen says, "Oh, wait a minute. One more little thing. We got to go meet," and I forgot the lady's name, Keela. And she's legally blind, like Leslie was stating, with 2 disabled children. So we walked around the corner and we meet the family, and I'm like, Lord, why? Oh my goodness, this blind lady has nothing. Nothing. And she is so grateful. She is so thankful and so grateful. And I can't wait to go to help this family. They are amazing. If you want to go on a mission trip, you need to go.
Hello. Yesterday was a huge blessing. I've never done anything like this before. Years ago, we talked about going to Louisiana. I didn't get to go. Yesterday was amazing. We met a lot of amazing people. I think what they were talking about, all the water in the house and stuff, but what was even more harder for me to fathom is the shape the houses are in now. As good a shape as things are in that short amount of time. And that's just a blessing from God that He was able to that He sent people like us, and will be sending people like you all when you go. And the difference we can make in a short amount of time, and different groups of people coming in these people's lives, and just showing the love of God to these people the way we did. And just all that went on yesterday was just an awesome day, and I would do it again. And I encourage y'all to go when you can. And it's going to be a lot of other opportunity over there to go, and it's a great blessing to them and us as well. Thank you.
Well, for me, this is the first time I've done anything like this, and I don't have the gift of gab, so bear with me. But it was it was it was good to be back in West Virginia because he actually understood what I was saying when I was talking. But we started out. These 2 rode with us, and I didn't even think it took us 2 hours to get there. I mean, it was like 5 minutes because we were all just talking and just having a great time. So not only do you get to bless people that are in need, and coming from West Virginia, they really are in need there, and we just got to bless them, and we were blessed because we all got along great. It was just a great day, and I don't know what else to say, but it was great, and I hope you all get to go too.
I'll agree with what she said. If you want a blessing, go to West Virginia, and you'll get a blessing, and you'll have the opportunity to bless somebody, because that's what these people need.
First off, I guess most people know that Bob is my brother, and one of the first things that I told this group before we left is Bob doesn't talk much. I've known him 51 years. He doesn't talk much. And when we first got there, we first started out, it was what I expected. Bob didn't say much. He would kind of give a direction. By the end of the day, I think he was having really good conversations, or really good conversations as far as Bob's concerned, with everybody, and even picking on a few people that I believe that I heard stories from. But the main thing that Bob needed to see God's love. And a lot of yesterday, I was thinking about Pastor Greg's sermons that's been happening a few weeks ago, and some of the things that he said about churches anywhere. We had church in Rupert, West Virginia, in Bob Killen's house, And we had a great experience. Last night about 10 o'clock, I think, when Bob and Sharon had finally settled down and kind of just had a few hours to sit and look and comprehend all the work that was done yesterday, he texted me and he said, "Thank you, Jim. Thank your church. They done a really great job, and I cannot say thank you enough."
All I can say is I love my church family.
Well, I don't know. I had a wonderful time. It was hot, but we had a really good time and had a good time with each other. But I guess what I want to say is I'm grateful to y'all that I'm a part of this church, that they see people's needs, whether it's in coming out of jail or needing help with their home. But they see the people's needs instead of being critical of them. They look for ways to invite them in, and that's me too. So thank y'all for allowing us to be part of what we're doing.
First of all, I received a whole lot more than I gave yesterday. It was an experience like I've never had before, and I would encourage any and all to go on the next one. The church was in Rupert. We had great fellowship, great weather, good camaraderie throughout the day. But in all honesty, if you don't think that God works in mysterious ways, you all need to meet Keela and her family. Keela's blind. She has 2 handicapped children, one in a wheelchair. Her husband is on a ventilator in a nursing home and will never be brought home again. She was trapped in her house for 30 hours in 24 inches of water and 2 handicapped children. The water was so severe it ripped the front porch off of her house and took it away. Can you envision being in flooding water and handicapped children for 30 hours and no communication? She lost every single thing that she had: furniture, clothing, appliances, everything. And yet she stood in front of us yesterday and said she was so thankful for God for all of the blessings. That is one of the most humbling experiences I believe I've ever had in my life.
Well, this was a first for me to do a project like this, and the blessing for me was helping the family. Yes, it was great, but we certainly got the blessing. But you know what? For me, it was getting to know all these people, and you're in church with people every Sunday. A lot of them you don't get to talk with that much, but when you come in a small group like this, and you get to talk with them, and you get to know them personally, we had a great time. We laughed a lot. And I just really was blessed by all of you all. And thank you all.
Dwayne just stole what I was going to say. But I'll just reiterate, not having the opportunity to talk to a lot of people. This is a huge church, and having the opportunity to spend yesterday with 20 people from Cornerstone and not only give back to a community, but to get to know these people. I just want you as a congregation to know that Cornerstone was well represented yesterday. These people took the church right into the community. And the thing that I came away with yesterday is that we are a blessed and a privileged people. And what a privilege it is just to give back a little bit. And that's what God expects of us.
Okay, I get to be the last. They took everything. But this is what I'm going to say to this team here. I called it my team because you all did an amazing job yesterday. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Jim, this is what you told me earlier about your brother texting you. It was an amazing thing because it always happens after you go into some projects like this. They're stunned. They don't know what to say. 2 hours later, they'll just be looking at what we just accomplished for them. And it's a blessing to them. It takes them a little bit to soak in what really happened yesterday. And so I thank you all for that blessing part. But if you go on this trip again, which there will be probably quite a few more trips to the Keela's house, as we've seen as I walked through that house. But I took a drive with Pastor Don and Keela, and Karen and I went to the house. He took us on a detour to get to their house. I'm just telling you, my heart sank from what I saw. As you see on one of the pictures in there, there's a line, it says the water line, and that was up about midway on the window itself. And that was probably the low end of different places in there. You can't imagine what the water's devastation will do to a house or to a person's home. But Keela just shared that she lost everything. She only could take out a few personal items that she could get out of that house. These people lost a lot of things. So I'm just saying, if you can't go and you want to do something like that, bless this ministry to go back, and we're going back again because we are going back. But if you want to go, take a leap of faith and walk out there and go and do this work, and you'll be blessed. You'll think you're going to go and bless them, but you're not going to be. You're going to be blessed in so much of a way that you are not going to believe what God's going to do in your heart. That's all I got, Pastor Greg.
It doesn't make any difference how old you are. I'm the oldest one in the group. I'll be 80 in October, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Amen to that one.
So a little more information. The pictures that have been coming through that were down to the studs, that is Keela's house. That's our next project. You notice that the drywall is not there. There's no kitchen. There's no bathroom. I mean, it's to the studs. So that's our next project. We committed to helping her. This is the family. And so that was how we ended the day. You know, we were blessed all day long with what we could do and what we had provided. And it was just, I had the opportunity to meet her. I've talked to Pastor Don about this family numerous times over the last couple of weeks. And I had asked that we could meet her. And so she wanted us to meet her kids. And so she actually is just literally around the corner being housed by a family. She's not in her trailer yet. And so we all got to go over and meet the whole family. And we have a video that hopefully we'll get up for you guys to really get to know this family a little more and her story. But the house that was studded, that's our next project. It's going to be soon because she's waiting on us to come. She is ready. She has all the drywall, so we're ready to use the talent and the time that we have to give her. So be looking for the date because we're thinking September.
Amen. So let me just add a few more pieces to all of this. We are committed. We feel like the Lord has spoken to our hearts as a congregation to help those who are in need in West Virginia. We have many families in our church who have roots there. Dwayne, I know, who was on the trip, he grew up just not far from where they were working, just kind of north of White Sulphur Springs. We have other families here. I see Debbie here. She was from Caldwell, got family there. A lot of these areas that were extremely devastated by this, what they call a 1,000-year flood. And these folks are really suffering. Sherry and I were just over in that area, or I was over in that area here a few weeks ago when I attended Dwayne's brother's funeral. And there's still a lot of recovery to be done. So I want to paint just a little bit broader picture for you. What in the world are we doing on Wednesday night? Why would we come here on Wednesday night and have a call of worship and prayer? This was a vision that God had put in Shelley's heart back, 6 weeks? Where is she? Where you at? About 6 or so weeks ago. The Lord put that in her heart and in the heart of the team that she is working with. And they said, let's come together and have a night of worship and prayer for West Virginia. What we're doing with our hands and our feet, is directly connected with what we're doing on our face in prayer. Okay, you can't separate the two. All right, and so we need to be prayed up as we build up. Okay, and so on Wednesday night, I would love to see everyone who is here right now. If your life group meets on Wednesday, let this be your life group night. If your life group meets another week and you don't want to be out two nights during the week, make Wednesday night your night to meet. Just tell your life group, hey, we're meeting at Cornerstone Church on Wednesday night. Come and let's enter into a time of worship and prayer. I know Pastor Steve is going to be here helping to lead. He and Valerie, I think, might be, I don't know, he might recruit her too, but they'll be here helping to lead the time, Shelley as well. And then we're going to be selling things. We need baked goods and donate those. All the proceeds that we gather that night from the sale of baked goods to the free will offering, all will go to helping our next project. I'm very excited about our ministry at the cafe. As I told you, I think last week or the week before, we were able to raise just shy of $1,000 last month. Yeah, in July, and that went to our West Virginia project, and we did it again for the month of August, and it looks like we're going to exceed $1,000 in August. So that's about $2,000 that's just come just down the street from the cafe in the roundup. Amen? So that'll help to buy supplies, all right? Also, you can go, we have a is it GoFundMe? Is that the one we have? We have a GoFundMe link on our Facebook page. I think it's also on our website. If you would just like to give a monetary gift to help this project, 100% of any gift that is given is going to help families in West Virginia. It's going to buy supplies. It's going to help the teams to be there, whatever it takes. That's what it's going to help. So you can help with that as well. We're also, I want you to be praying, this is the last thing, I want you to be praying about something that the Lord has put in our heart, and we're really praying. Karen's been working very hard to try to find an open door to do this. But we would like to go into the area of Raynell, which is just a neighboring town that was very devastated as well. And those two towns are very close together, and so we're looking at maybe the Raynell area. And we would like to go over for a day and just bless the people. We'll take cookers. We're going to serve food. We'll have a bounce house. We're going to have music. We want to throw a little festival for the town, just to come out, get to know people, interact. Let's just all get in our cars and we just go over there. It's pretty cool that you can drive 2.5 hours and be on a missions trip. That's awesome. They went in a day. So we'll be giving you more information about where we go next and how we can help this family that's really in need. And I want to thank Jim and Sharon for allowing us to come into your neighborhood. Jim grew up in that area. That's his home area. Sherry and I were over there on our first day of our break in July, the first Sunday, I should say, the first Sunday in July that we were on our break. I said to the family, Jonathan and Gabby went along with us, and I said, let's drive to West Virginia. And we went over there, attended church in White Sulphur Spring, and we ended up, I said, let's go over. I hear about Rupert, and that's where Jim and Sharon or their family are, and Raynell. And so we just decided we'll just ride over there. And so we text them, and lo and behold, they were there. And we had an opportunity to go and see one of the homes of their family member that was just totally devastated. And so thank you for allowing us to partner with you and be the church for your people. And so what a blessing. So church, did they experience church? Amen. I want to invite the worship team to come on up.